Hey, did you like those field trip pictures from yesterday? Pretty cool stuff. Yeah, those are for the yearbook, but I thought you guys might like to see you in action playing some music together as a band, as a class. That was the music room in the Long Island Children's Museum. What a fun time we had. Then we're going to move on to the next page in our story. We've got the beat, and the next page has a bar graph, and we're going to talk about bar graphs. A little bit of math in ELA. I like that sometimes. I taught math for a long time, and a bar graph is a really nice way to get information from a question. Sounds good. That's the title of this section. There's not chapters in this book, but it has titles and subject headings on top of each page. And the topic for this page is sounds good. Now, a lot of the vocabulary talks about rhythm and music and all these things together working out really nicely. The PS-22 chorus is divided into two groups. The sopranos sing the high notes, and actually they get even higher than that. That was really weird. I'm like a tenor guy, bass. But soprano is a very high note. The altos sing lower sounds. So the highest singers, the highest pitch of singing is the soprano. You're not gonna have to know this, but I just thought it'd be interesting to know. An alto is lower, okay? But it's still pretty high. And then it gets lower and lower and lower. And there's different people at different parts. Most kids this age would be tenors, sopranos, and altos. Okay, there's just different highness or lowness, the pitch we talked about in sound. Instruments like drums sometimes keep the beat. Now, rock and roll music, rap music, pop music, drums, when I go to church on Sundays, drums are a great way to keep a rhythm. Those drums keep the rhythm, and the rhythm gives you the ability to, to feel the beat. Once you feel that beat, oh man, nothing like it. So the drums sometimes keep the beat. It's important to keep the rhythm that they make the right sounds together. Now, rhythm is when everything kind of falls into place. You have musicians playing instruments, you have people singing. Now, this is just, they have all different kinds of things. They have music, they have instruments, and they have singers in the chorus. Now, there are people like myself, I talked about yesterday, that are in chorus, and grown-ups, adults, professional singers. Most adult choruses have 4 groups of voices, okay? Here's a look at the number of each type of voice in an adult chorus from Pennsylvania. Okay, so they're gonna show us some information. See how it says voices in the chorus? Yeah, that's the bar graph that I'm talking about. Now, these look like candy bars. That's how we can remember that that's called a bar graph. A graph is something that just organizes information, okay? So this graph is organizing the different kinds of singers in one group of singers, in one chorus. And the most is the sopranos. Now let's take a look at how we know that's the most. You don't have to look for a number, you have to look for a label and then find out where that ends. So let's take a look. As you can see, green, red, yellow, blue. The green is sopranos, red is tenor, yellow is bass, and bass is really low singing, and blue is alto. So which one is the biggest chocolate bar? What color? Right, the green. And the green means that most of the singers sing really high notes, la, in the background, okay? And they're a really important part of the chorus. Now, how can we tell what is the lowest number of types of a singer in the chorus? What's the smallest bar? Well, the green's the biggest, but the blue? No. The yellow? No. the red is the smallest. So that means that choruses usually have the least amount of tenors. There's usually more bass, altos, and sopranos than tenors. And you need a certain number of, and what would happen is my chorus teacher would say, okay, can you sing this for me? La 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 la. And some people would go, yeah, sure. La 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 la. And then other people would go, la 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 la. So that would be different sounds. Some people, I can't sign up for a soprano position and be like, yeah, let me sing all these high notes. It's not going to work. So, the chorus teacher tells me where my voice is. If I had a pretty low voice in my time, so I was a tenor for a while, and then he said no. And when I went to high school, he said, you're ready to be a bass because you can talk very low, and I can sing very low. Dip 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 blue moon, blue blue moon, dip 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 blue 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 moon, wobble bobble bang bang bang. All right, so anyway, that's a low-sounding bass tone voice. And there's not a lot of bass in this group. But let's take a look. I want to connect this text to the rest of the text. And I wondered why Brianna's words were in this paragraph. Then I looked at the photo, and Brianna is in the PS22 chorus. So that's an important connection. So we can go back in the text and look for evidence, and that's what we've been doing. We'll have some type of comprehension question, and it'll say, go back in the text and tell what happens with the chorus, what they do together. Or they're going to ask a question, and you're going to be locating that. Last week, you guys did fantastic locating this stuff. So that's what this is calling for. One more thing I want to say, and that is quotations. When people really say something in a text, you're going to see those two, like, commas in the sky when they start talking, and then two commas in the sky when they stop talking. Okay, those are called quotation marks. That's not just words like the PS22 chorus is divided into two groups. That's the person reading the story. But we just want to give it our best is a part of the story that has those 2 marks before and 2 marks after. Then it says, one student says. So the student actually said that out loud. That's not just like, oh, I think they said that, or the narrator read that. No, the student is expressing themselves with their words out loud, and it's important to pay attention to what they say. All right, we're going to move on to the next page of the story tomorrow. See you next time. Great job, everybody.